sitting by the road, looking for a ride home. It was milepost 12, and I was all alone. Sun beating down on the back of my neck. Oh Lord, let me find a peaceful place to rest. I was too far from home, I gotta get back to Oregon. Too far to roam, trying to get back to Oregon.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning.
After witnessing a glorious sunrise, we packed up and departed our mountaintop lookout. So last night we had sandwiches for dinner, which is actually kind of nice. It was good, it was easy, no cleanup. But this morning we woke up bright and early. I woke up at about 4:45, saw the sunrise, which was beautiful. So today, because we couldn't use our stove to make breakfast, we're hopping back in the trucks and we're gonna drive to a lake nearby that has an established campground, which are the only places you're allowed to have stoves or fires right now. And we're gonna whip up a breakfast of French toast, eggs, sausages, and hash browns. We're a little bit ahead of schedule today too. Yesterday we were slated to stay near the hot springs we visited, but there were so many people there because a festival just ended nearby. There were so many people at the hot springs that we decided to push on a little bit and did about an extra 20 miles.
All right, guys, tell me what's going on.
I'm hungry.
So what are we doing?
Eating!
Yay! So what have we done so far this morning?
Driven!
Jeff!
So this morning, we woke up facing the sunrise off of the mountain that we were on. But because we were still in the area of fire restrictions, we were not able to cook the breakfast that we wanted. So we decided to instead load up into the trucks immediately and drive on down here to this lake behind us, Diamond Lake.
This isn't Diamond.
I thought this was Upper Diamond Lake.
No, this is Upper Tippinahagas Lake.
Gesundheit. So we're at this lake, whatever this lake is.
Upper Tippinahagas Lake.
Yes.
One more time?
Upper Tippinahagas Lake.
Okay.
And where we're actually at a formal campground that we're able to start the burners at. And we're gonna make some French toast and various other hot foods. Warm ourselves up.
I like hot food.
Maybe if the sky temperature warms up a little bit, possibly go into said lake. But right now it's kind of cold, so maybe not. And
Rough hair
You call
temperature?
yourself a Minnesotan.
yeah, well, I can be Minnesota and not voluntarily go into cold. So, hoping it gets hot enough to actually want to be in the lake.
Timpanogos Lake is the headwaters of the middle fork of the Willamette River and is located near Immigrant Pass. In the 1850s, Immigrant Pass was being used by settlers as a way over the Cascades. In October of 1853, a party of 1,500 was almost stranded on the pass, but was saved from a Donner Party-style tragedy by nearby settlers, who had begun to improve the route as a shortcut between the Oregon Trail near Boise and the Willamette Valley. After breakfast, we enjoyed a moment of comedy.
This is Jeff again from Pacific Crest Expeditions. Now, you may have heard throughout our episode so far, us talking a lot about wildfires and how they've been influencing our trip. And I thought I'd like to educate you, viewers at home, on how to ensure that your bonfires don't become forest fires. First of all, when building a fire, always make sure that you have water accessible to you at all times in case of a spread. Secondly, try to ensure that you have defensible space around the perimeter of your fire so that if anything does get out, it's not going to catch on any brush. And lastly, always make sure that you have rapid response aerial resources available to you at all times. Now introducing Silly Pint's new silicon-based delivery or water delivery system. Using the heat-resistant properties of silicon and its ability to contain water, we have developed a way to bring first attack resources to your home. There we go. Deep now. This is the Central Oregon bathhouse. Very rare you have a lake to yourself out around here. So definitely taking advantage of it while we can.
So we got a little time today, so I thought this guy has more points of interest. Gaia has more, but not on the offline saved version that I have currently. So this is cool. This Kits in Hot Springs. It's private now, but it was originally a big bathhouse, and then Boy Scouts bought it, and now it's just kind of overgrown. Potentially do an Oak Ridge stop today.
Was that tomorrow originally?
It was scheduled for tomorrow, yeah. But since we've got a good chunk of time today, or actually, this might work out better. Camp there tonight at the hot springs.
That's cool.
And then we have to come back down anyway. Come back to Oak Ridge, resupply, and then continue, and then we're going to be in the Deschutes tomorrow.
Radio check. Oh crap, you're on this channel. It's Wednesday, morning of day 5, or I guess we're kind of in the afternoon now. We are leaving our breakfast spot. We went down and found a nice little spot on a lake in a campground, and it was pretty awesome because we had the entire lake literally to ourselves, which is highly unusual for this part of the country. There's so few lakes out here that usually there's crowds, especially with how many people are in Oregon right now for the eclipse and everything. So it's very shocking that we were able to nab that, but we did. We're heading up. We decided to reroute a little bit because we had so much time left in the day. We're actually going to blow up to a spot that we weren't planning on hitting until tomorrow, which is another little hot spring, which is a smaller, kind of less known one than one we went to yesterday, which would be pretty sweet because they're a lot more nice when you have a little bit of, not necessarily privacy, but less crowds. We've had some fun times dealing with what we've called moon dust. This really fine, powdery dirt that cakes the roads around here. And because we had the good fortune of being in the tail car, Asa says...
We're about to hook up with the PCT for a bit. I can't tell if it runs on this road along the edge of Summit Lake or if it just runs like parallel to it. But in any case, we're going to be super close to the PCT for a good 3 miles.
Copy that. So the moon dust, because Asa's up front with the bulk of the navigation equipment, we are kind of following up as a tail car for this entire trip, and we just always get to eat that dust, and it's pretty crazy. There'll be times where we'll be driving through it and we literally cannot see what's ahead of us. We're in a cloud, and so I just kind of look at Asa's taillights and try to remember the directions it turned, and I follow those same directions, and although we've gotten close a couple of times, we have yet to hit a tree or run ourselves off a cliff, so let's hope that luck continues.
What do we have here? We're on the Central Oregon Military Wagon Road. The wagon road was constructed in 1865. It was reconstructed in the 1930s to accommodate vehicle travel. Traces of the original road still run along this one, but it'd be kind of cool. We're on an old wagon trail that the military used for transporting supplies across the mountains. So, a little bit of history here.
You should probably come directly at me here. You want to roll over those rocks straight on. Okay, right there. You just point your tires. Okay, passenger, more passenger, and straight. Your passenger tire is going to hit a rock. And go passenger more, okay? All right, come ahead, and just take it nice and slow. Nicely done.
That's pretty neat.
What is it?
You can tell you can tell it's a waterfall by the way it is. Over here, Jeff.
Got a cliff.
Oh, that there?
Yeah.
That's a cliff?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Underneath the
How
cliff.
about that now?
Yeah, underneath the cliff there's a valley.
Oh.
And on the other side of the valley some mountains.
All right then. We're in the mountains outside of Oak Ridge. Well, the hills, I guess you could say. And there's a bunch of switchbacks and train yards and areas that they originally used for logging. They could just pick up the logs and put them directly on the train. So there's lots of roads back here that are kind of mixed in with the railroad tracks. We're trying to find this switching yard that is called Fields. I'm not sure if it's like currently in use or if it's an older, more abandoned railroad area, but just kind of checking out an unknown. Looked cool, heard some stuff about it. And there's a tunnel right down here that we're checking out. We apparently drove over the railroad tracks to get to where we are now. And we're just backtracking a little bit on foot to see where the actual tunnel comes out of the mountainside.
What's your favorite part about tunnels, Issa?
They're underground, they're dark. You can pretend to be a dwarf. Unknown.
Jeff, your favorite part about tunnels?
Well, I've taken a deeper level thought to it, like tunnels and underground in general. Like I love going into caves and stuff like that. I love spelunking. And it's the unnatural sensation that you get. Like, the only two times you can ever get the sensation are when you're in a tunnel and when you're underwater. And it's just your whole body, your subconscious screaming at you like you're not supposed to be here. This is not your domain. But the deeper you go, and that to me is a really great adrenaline rush. You kind of discover a lot about your own ability to push back your limitations, or push past your limitations, I should say, and just keep on trudging. I notice that there's always a fine little difference between our answers.
They call it a mine! A mine!
No mine, this is a tomb. Fly, you fools! Fly, you fools!
Very important to stay hydrated. Hydrate or die.
I choose death.
There's two Fields, Oregon. One is out by Steens, but the other is here. I haven't been to this one.
So let's go find it.
Radio.
What you got there, Asa?
Well, Fields, Oregon doesn't have a lot going on for it, at least this Fields, Oregon. But it does have a lot of awesome blackberries. Silly Pint, the perfect blackberry storing apparatus. One can pick a pint at a time.
That's silly.
Indeed it is.